shut down station after sighting of wanted man.
We know that some heavily armed police officers got onto the platform. The station's been closed down for over an hour and a half.
Death toll in the Iran earthquake could reach 50,000. One could be fined £100 for taking your kids on holiday. And it's a rise Sir Clive and honours for all the World Cup winners.
The ITV News with Mary Nightingale.
Good evening. For 3 frantic hours tonight, police swarmed through York railway station after a tip-off that Britain's most wanted man, Nathan Coleman, the prime suspect in the murder of a PC in Leeds, had been spotted there. They shut down the station, but they didn't find Coleman. However, detectives believe he is still in Yorkshire. Mark Webster is in York tonight. Mark.
It's a measure of the absolute determination to track down the #1 suspect in this murder hunt. But this evening, dozens of trains were delayed, thousands of travellers inconvenienced. Despite this setback, the police say no reasonable lead will be ignored, no effort spared, as in the coming hours and days, they tighten the net even further. Armed police with dogs joined the search of the station. A flower seller had reported what police said was a good sighting of the man they most want to question over the killing of PC Ian Broadhurst and the shooting of his colleague, PC Roper. Throughout the day, intensive searching for further clues has continued at Nathan Coleman's flat and in the grounds. More than 50 officers are involved, with forensic and ballistic specialists assisting the manhunt. At this morning's press conference, police said progress was being made, but Nathan Coleman himself remained something of an enigma.
He keeps himself to himself, primarily. He appears to live on his own, in bedsit accommodation here in Leeds. The information is limited. He appears to be a person who is attracted to a lifestyle of fitness, gambling. He has some interest, it would appear, in survival instincts from what we can pick up from his wife. Police now have a clearer picture of just where their #1 suspect went after the shooting. Hours later, 7:45 p.m. Boxing Day, he's believed to have taken a taxi from Leeds to Bradford. Throughout the journey, the driver told police that the man, who was wearing a beige overcoat and carrying a grey rucksack, had chatted in a relaxed fashion, and at no point did he appear at all agitated. He told the driver that he came from Selby, that he's looking for a bed and breakfast somewhere in the Bradford area. The taxi driver dropped him here in Bank Street in the centre of Bradford, but instead of going to look for accommodation, he walked straight across the road to another taxi over there, where the taxi driver said there appeared to be a young couple waiting in the back. The police urgently want to talk to them and the driver of the second taxi. It's just 10 miles from Bradford to Brighouse. He was spotted there yesterday, the latest reliable sighting. Tonight, after more than 3 hours of disruption, the first trains were allowed back into York Station. The chaos of the closure had affected passengers and trains the length of the East Coast Main Line. Tonight, police say, Nathan Coleman may still be one step ahead of them, but they are sure that with the information coming from the general public and the determination of the police force, it's only a matter of time before they catch him.
Mark Webster, thank you. 50,000 people, equivalent to the entire population of a town like Inverness or Kidderminster, are now believed to have died in the Iranian earthquake. Already 28,000 bodies have been found. The Iranian government fears almost as many again are still buried under the dust and the debris. Neil Connery reports from the devastated town of Bam.
For the people of Bam, there is still hope, but it's running out fast. At what used to be the city's pharmacy, they're searching for survivors and gathering drugs to help the injured. The owner watches anxiously. 2 of his children are still in the rubble. This was the family home and business, but like everything else here, it's been torn apart. At the fire station next door, the force of the earthquake is clear to see. A Slovenian rescue team allowed us to join them as they carried on searching. They're determined to keep on working, whatever the odds.
As I've heard, during the whole search and rescue operations, only 2 people were found alive. All the others were dead. So.
But you and your colleagues are going to carry on working here?
Yes, because it is also important to find the dead people, because there is a huge danger of epidemics and diseases.
Some teams, including the British, have already started heading home. They're still searching here, determined to do whatever they can, but as every day passes, hope of finding any more survivors grows even more remote. Driving through Bam, the extent of the damage is everywhere to be seen. The Iranian government now estimate the death toll could be as high as 50,000. Suna Hassasa has travelled from Tehran to help the survivors. He told me how people are coping.
I think they are too upset, shocked, and I don't know, confused. I think most of them still can't believe the situation, the disaster.
At a football stadium, a refugee centre has been opened to cater for the living. Aid is slowly getting through, but it's patchy. In one tent full of survivors and despair, I met the Brigmajud family. Atari told me 50 of her relatives have been killed. She's angry. Rescuers have given up looking for them. Why have they stopped looking, she says. They should be searching for my parents, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins and brothers and sisters. So many here now are battling to survive and living with the emptiness of so many lives lost. Neil Connery, ITV News, Bam, southeastern Iran.
Well, after Neil sent that report, I was able to talk to him using the video phone, and I asked him what are the biggest challenges now facing the area.
Well, there are really 2 challenges that face the operation going on here in Bam. One is in terms of the disposal of bodies, just the sheer number. The Iranian government now estimating the death toll at up to possibly 50,000. Those bodies have to be disposed of, and very quickly, in order to stop disease spreading here. The second problem really is in terms of how they deal with survivors, and that really is a question about aid and whether aid is getting through. Now, there are a number of international aid flights that are coming down to Bam delivering supplies. I've seen them myself arrive at the airport, but the problem then is where that aid goes. Some of the survivors I've been speaking to today have said that it isn't getting to them quick enough. There are allegations that it's being taken by certain people and not actually getting to those who need that aid quickly enough. For instance, today we were travelling through the town, and on a number of occasions we would see aid trucks that were stopped in the street, and within a matter of seconds up to around 100 people would surround that aid truck. They'd be grasping for whatever they could get their hands on, food, water, blankets, those kind of things. It was really a measure of the desperation that the people face here.
Neil Connery speaking to me a little bit earlier. Police investigating the murder of a 19-year-old in a row over an umbrella have made 2 arrests. Terry Gregory, a lifeguard, is believed to have got off a bus in South London in the early hours of Sunday morning. He was attacked after apparently touching or picking up an umbrella belonging to a group getting on. The arrested men are 37 and 65. Speeding motorists could escape penalty points on their licences under plans announced by the Conservatives today. Fines for speeding would remain, but points would only be added in areas where risk of death is high. And a grieving mother has begged drug dealers to stop selling ecstasy to young people. Scott McSeffney from Ayrshire died after taking the drug at a party. His mother Mary says the people who sold it to him are trading in poison.
That the people who deal in this terrible stuff or deal in anything that can harm any child or any human being, learn from it. Learn from what you're doing. You're killing people and you're taking children away from their mothers.
Now, in future, parents won't just get black marks from head teachers for taking their children on holiday during term time. They may even get fined too, £100. The government says taking children out of school without permission amounts to truancy, and it's happening all too often. Our social affairs correspondent Helen Wright reports.
Chris and Sue Bicker have twice taken their sons, Max and Sam, on holiday during the school term, but they always had permission from the boys' head teachers. They told me the cost and availability of holidays can leave parents little choice but to travel in term time.
The main reason was the cost of the holidays outside of term time is much cheaper. It's probably a third to half the price compared to, you know, when the kids are actually on school holidays.
But the government's decided term time travel without permission is truancy, and parents could in future face a £100 fine.
We are introducing the opportunity for educational welfare officers, for head teachers, to serve fixed penalty notices on parents who simply won't cooperate, rather than those who can't.
As every parent knows, holiday prices are always higher during the school breaks. For example, a week skiing in Italy this half-term could cost a family of 4 over £1,200. The same holiday after half-term, say in March, costs around £900. Next summer, a family holiday at Centre Park's Sherwood Forest costs £950 in the school holidays. In term time, it could cost just £650. And if you take the kids abroad for summer break, a week's self-catering for 4 in Mallorca costs around £1,400. The same package taken 2 weeks earlier will cost just over £1,000.
So why not just cut school break prices? Well, apparently high demand across Europe means it's not that simple.
It's not just about the UK industry kind of dictating prices. If it was that easy, it would be great, and of course we would try and do that.
The fines are mostly meant for parents who repeatedly allow their children to miss school. But in exceptional circumstances, families who fail to follow the Bickers example and ask to take time off could find an extra £100 is added to their holiday bill. Helen Wright, ITV News, North London.
Well, there's more still to come on tonight's ITV News, including first the glory, now the honours for Johnny and all the boys. And why 2004 looks set to get off to a record cork-popping start. Those stories and more in just a moment.